Welcome to the video guide for Lilith's Encroaching Shadow Expert, part of the new Rise of the Sinister Dominion series of boss fights released as part of patch 2.5.1 of Dragalia Lost. The first of the Sinister Dominion series, the difficulty of Expert Lilith sits somewhere between Expert and Master Agito. However, current preferred power levels for co-op sit in the Max Unbound Tier 2 Agito range. This should ease up over time, but for now, my name is Xenozillus, and let's get straight to it. Much like the Agito series, Expert Lilith has a two-form fight, starting with a base form and then a transformation once you clear the first health bar. As for unique mechanics, Lilith has a handful. Lilith's unique ability is Flames of Torment. This activates in the second phase, and it reinforces elemental disadvantages and increases Lilith's resistance to afflictions, reducing with the number of parts you break on her. Lilith also inflicts two unique debuffs, the first of which is Creeping Corrosion. This causes percentage damage over time that increases as it lingers, as well as reducing healing received. This can be removed with enough healing. The second debuff is Curse of Nihility. This nullifies the effects of buffs on adventurers and prevents buffs from being applied for a set duration. These debuffs will be reapplied throughout the fight with a handful of downtime windows. As with other endgame fights, certain mechanics and attacks will be skipped or repeated based on phase progression and remaining hit points. Lilith starts the fight as Fallen Ramiel, with a handful of mostly reactable mechanics. The fight opens with Accursed Shackles, dealing a small amount of damage and instantly applying Curse of Nihility. After this is Corrosive Fog. This applies Creeping Corrosion, but it doesn't deal any upfront damage. Following this is a set of Purple Chasers. These will track for a short while before dropping 3 AoEs. In co-op, this will target all players, making it akin to a slower bolts from above that we see in the Ciela fight. Ramiel then dashes and then follows up with reactable attacks. Dodge these as appropriate. After this is Curse Invocation. This spawns 4 targetable umbral spheres around the arena that'll periodically shoot out avoidable bullets. You can target these immediately or attempt to catch them in AoEs that hit both Ramiel and as many orbs as you can manage. This is followed by Twilight Dance. Ramiel moves to the center of the arena and spawns 4 sets of purple pie slice AoEs. Dodge back and forth between the safe zones, avoiding bullets from spheres if they're still active. Ramiel repeats some mechanics before following up with a stack marker. So long as you avoid a decent number of the mechanics beforehand, it'll be safe to stack. The last unique mechanic you'll see in this phase is Deadly Dive. Ramiel has 2 patterns here, which are both 2 sets of dashes followed by red attacks, followed by a purple AoE. If he starts with a red AoE under him, the final purple will be a big circle under him. If he starts with 4 red AoEs, the final purple will be a big donut, with a safe zone under him. After that, mechanics will repeat until you clear the first phase, and after that we'll enter Phase 2. After the transformation, Phase 2 starts with Accursed Shackles, followed by Sugar-Coated Sadism, activating the Flames of Torment ability on Lilith. After this is Candy Shower. This is much like the 3 purple chasers from before, but the first chaser will leave a puddle that deals moderate amounts of damage to adventurers inside. In co-op, this will target all 4 players. Try and drop these around the edge of the arena, leaving a bit of space between them so you can easily move through the arena if necessary. The final 2 chasers can be stacked directly on top of each other if you dodge the second one at the last possible moment. This is followed by a red circle and purple donut, followed by a purple circle and red donut. Think twins. However, the first circle introduces the purple Overdrive Counter icon. Iframing the red circle with an attack skill will execute an Overdrive Counter, dealing extra damage to Lilith's Overdrive bar. Take the opportunity to Overdrive Counter if you can, otherwise dodge both of these as appropriate. If you're feeling particularly spicy, it's possible to stand in the gap between the circle and donut to avoid both markers. This is followed by Crossing Candy. 6 balls will spawn at the edge of the arena, 3 red and 3 purple. These will all roll across the arena with red telegraphs. But the purple balls will explode at the end of their path with a purple cross pattern, leaving a safe zone under the spot where the red balls spawned. Either roll through or iframe the red balls and then wait for the lasers to resolve before entering the rest of the arena again. Lilith can occasionally work in a few red marked attacks that are possible to Overdrive Counter. Counter these if you can, avoid them otherwise, they'll pop up every now and again. After this is Candy Bomb. This is just a stack marker with nothing unique here, but it's got a name. After this you'll see Sweet Circle. Lilith and her staff will split. Lilith will attack with the alternating purple pie slices, while her staff will go clockwise around the arena, dropping 4 purple circles. Alternate between safe zones while avoiding the circles. The staff can start in either the top right or bottom left corners, but it'll always travel through the whole arena. Once you get Lilith past 50% hit points, she'll counter with Depth's Sweet Embrace. Lilith and her staff will split to 2 sides, spawning 2 purple line attacks. After this, it can go 2 ways. Lilith and the staff will attack towards 2 opposite sides of the arena, or both towards the middle. Quickly after this are 2 purple donuts under both Lilith and the staff. If the 2 are apart, go to the edges of the arena. If they're together, go between Lilith and her staff. After this is Candy Prison. Lilith will target a player with a prison, as well as spawning a set of lasers across the arena, leaving 2 safe spots. All players should go to the same safe spot to clear the prison before it resolves, otherwise it'll kill the trapped player. The current meta seems to prioritize going to the bottom and the right safe zones, but we'll see what people adapt to over time. This isn't too different from Cayenne's Crushing Cataclysm, but with more lasers and a bit less time. After that, you've seen all the mechanics. Continue to beat down the Demon Girl and you should get your first clear, simple as that. Some patterns will take a few runs for you to get used to, but all in all this was a simple fight to clear. Common mistakes I see in co-op are typically just people not knowing where to go for certain mechanics, but this should ease up a lot as more people experience the fight. Otherwise, I'd say that people leaving puddles under Lilith is another issue, since it completely cuts off your melee DPS for a good chunk of time. Another thing to note is Lilith gradually ramps up strength in both Phase 1 and Phase 2. It resets at the phase change, but bringing some Dispel to stop Lilith from ramping up too aggressively can help with surviving some mechanics. When it comes to team compositions, quite a lot of adventurers are gutted by the new mechanics. Ryozen is incredibly difficult to play in this fight, as she struggles with the raw healing required to deal with creeping corrosion. Instead, Hildegard is a much more popular choice. I'm sure this could be countered by bringing extra healing skill shares, but that's up to you to experiment with. In terms of DPS, you'll want to bring DPS that aren't too reliant on buffs. Many adventurers get buffs stripped away by the Curse Nihility, gutting kits such as Galaluka's and Ilia's. Buffers such as Chitose and Ryozen, I guess, are completely out as a result. Check the description and maybe the comments for a link to a page that details how each adventurer is affected. Characters I've been seeing often in co-op are Gala Yuden, who still has decent mods despite no buffs, Dragon Yor Melora for her defense down debuff, Mordecai for a simple no frills kit, and Luca for similar reasons while also bringing a Dispel. Rishada should also be pretty suitable for this fight, as most of her kit, barring her life shield, is unaffected, but I've not seen too many Rishadas. I'll also tentatively recommend Julieta and Albert as adventurers whose kits survive the Nihility debuff, but I've not been seeing too many in co-op, probably because they weren't too popular for the Tartarus fight. The newest 5-star Light Axe, Irene, has her S2 self-buff stripped away by the debuff, so she's also somewhat pared down. As always, keep your eyes peeled on the wealth of clear videos uploaded by the community for more team ideas. My videos are by no means exhaustive on this front, so don't just rely on my opinion for this kind of stuff. If you have further questions, feel free to leave a comment or pop by my Twitch streams. I stream Wednesdays and Saturdays at 9:30 PM GMT. As always, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.